What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be doing the match preview for Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid in La Liga, the final match of the 2024 calendar year, taking place on my freaking birthday. I swear to God, if this team does not win this game, I will be even more fuming than I already would be. Huge game for the race at the top of La Liga. These two teams are neck and neck, and so are Real Madrid, who are just behind us, who are playing at another day during this La Liga match weekend. Again, it is a monumental game here. It could definitely dictate the pace, confidence, and momentum heading into 2025. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get the 200 likes on this video. It would be very much appreciated. Also, if you are new, make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 9 p.m. local time, so regular kickoff time in La Liga, and this match will be taking place at the Lluís Companys Stadium in Montjuic, which of course is the temporary home of Barcelona. And the referee for this match has also been confirmed on the pitch. According to Xavi, is the best La Liga referee. It will be Ricardo de Burgas, and on the VAR it will be Javier Iglesias Villanueva. Let's start off by taking a look at the league table. Somehow, someway, Barcelona are still sat in first place on 38 points after playing 18 matches. We have 12 wins, 2 draws, and 4 losses. You look at our last 5 games in the league, an absolutely pathetic and embarrassing record of 2 losses, 2 draws, and 1 win. We have been absolutely abysmal in La Liga since the start of November, and nothing has changed to the point that Atletico Madrid now are on an 11-game winning run in La Liga and are now on the same amount of points as us, but with 1 game less played. They played 17 games, they have 12 wins, 5 draws, 1 loss, and of course they have a 20 goal difference, we have a 30 goal difference, and that's why we're currently top of the league. Of course, you have Real Madrid on 37 points as well, 1 point behind both of us, but of course they have 1 game less played as well. Then you have Athletic Club on 33 points, just 5 points behind us. So our 10-point cushion about a month and a half ago is now non-existent. Now, based on how the league is going right now, of course, we need to win this game. We also have to hope that Real Madrid drop points in their next 2 games. That way, they have leveled the games with us, we can still be top of the table. Now, Real Madrid do play on Sunday. They do have Sevilla at home at the Santiago Bernabeu. That'll be 83 points for them. They have not played at a home game now, I think, almost in 3 weeks. Something like that. They've been, 3 away games back-to-back. San Mamés, Atlanta, and then Vallecano. Then they went to Qatar for the Intercontinental International Cup, whatever the frig that is. So they're back at home. That'll be an easy 3 points for them. They're probably dreaming for a draw in this game, and to be honest, I just hope that someone wins this game. Whether it's us, of course I pray and I hope it's us, but I'd rather Atletico Madrid win this game than draw, because I just don't want to see Madrid top of the table. Like I've always been saying, and I'll say it again, as long as Barcelona stay at the top of the table, I will feel somewhat confident. We're dropping points left, right, and center, but somehow, some way, we're still in first place. I know we're technically not first place with games played or whatever. I don't give a crap about that. Points on the table is what matters the most. So as long as we're in first place, I'll be content with it. But this is a big moment where we could end up dropping to second or maybe even third place. So let's hope we can keep it up. Again, a draw pretty much helps no one unless Madrid drop points as well. So again, anyone can finish top of La Liga by the end of this weekend and go into, of course, 2025 as a leader. And let's hope it's us. Let's now take a look at our opponents in Atletico Madrid. Of course, Atletico Madrid, one of the biggest clubs in the world, one of the biggest in Spain. They've been on an unbelievable run over the past few months, winning all their games. Of course, they had a pretty poor start to the season the first 2 months, but the last 2 months after that, they have been absolutely fantastic. Now, the last time we faced them in all competition was last season at their home stadium, the Wanda Metropolitano. We absolutely cooked them 3-0. It was an absolute battering. I remember this game very well. Of course, we had the Joao Felix factor for the 2 games against Atletico last season, so maybe we can take that into effect for these games. But again, we absolutely destroyed them. I think the first 20 minutes was quite even. After that Joao Felix goal, we were in control. Second half, we absolutely cooked them. They couldn't even touch the ball. It was a brilliant performance, a Xavi masterclass to say the least, which Xavi has done a lot against Atletico Madrid. Keep in mind, we've not lost in any of our last 5 games against Atletico, and we have not conceded any of our last 5 games against Atletico Madrid. So we've had a good run against them under Xavi. Let's hope this continues under Hansi Flick as well. Now, if you take a look at Atletico's last 5 matches in all competition, in their last match, they beat Getafe 1-0. They won their Champions League game against Slavia Braga 3-1. They beat Sevilla 4-3. They won the second round Copa del Rey game 3-1. And they also battered Valladolid 5-0. They couldn't do it like us though, 7-0. They got the 5-0 done in the end. But let's take a look now at the last 3 games in all competition. Firstly is that 4-3 win against Sevilla. Now, I did actually end up watching this game because it was quite tight. Sevilla were up 2-1 at some point. Atletico Madrid had an unbelievable comeback in the second half, but a game where you can see their vulnerable points. They're at home, so it's not going to be a game where you expect them to maybe drop points, but when they're already 2-1 down, they expect, of course, the stadium to help them, and it did. And of course, Simeone, for the first time in my life, I seen him go full out front, all out attack, especially in that last 20 minutes. It was a Samuel Lino, I believe, shot from distance that got the goal to make it 3-3. Then Griezmann made it 4-3 after Sevilla mistake in the center of the area. But the first half from Atletico Madrid was very, very important. I think that's where you can, of course, see a vulnerable side there. And again, Sevilla aren't of the quality to really exploit that. And in the end, the quality of Atletico Madrid did come out on top. Next up is a 3-1 win at the Champions League against Slavia Prague. I think this is a game where they were 1-1 at some point, potentially. I think Atletico Madrid went up 1-0. They got a penalty to bring it back to 1-1, and then made it 2-1, and then 3-1. So you're seeing a little pattern here in these games that they're very, very close, and then in the end, Atletico Madrid kind of take control. In that, 20-minute period, half an hour period where Atletico Madrid aren't really on it, that's where Barcelona need to be exploiting them against some information that we've seen now from Simeone 4-4-2 for the past 10-15 years I've been watching Atletico Madrid. But nonetheless, though, it was going to be a comfortable win. It was in the end, but there was a little bit of a banana skin period for Atletico. And finally, the last match of all competition was a 1-0 win against Getafe. Borlas versus Simeone, basically 4-4-2 low block. It's a 4-4-2 low block. I think it was Alexander Sørloth off the bench in like the 70th minute to get the all-decisive goal for them. Tight game. Again, two teams, very similar styles, very similar mentality as well, in the sense that they're both, rough with it, getting stuck in behind, keeping it compact, keeping it tight, hitting each other on the counter. They're both playing the exact same way, exact same style, so it was going to come down mainly to quality and maybe a bit of luck, and Atletico Madrid did get that on their side. But overall, 3 games for them, 3 comfortable wins. Of course, 3 games all at home. I must say, during this 11 unbeaten run, they've had a lot of games at home as well, so maybe the schedule favoring them just a little bit. But again, credit where it's due, they still went out and won all those games, and they're coming into this match on fine form. Now, on the screen right now is line that I believe that Diego Simeone will select for this match, and also the apparent leaked team. According to a lot of Madrid paste papers, Marca, AS, this is going to be 100% the starting lineup against Barcelona. I don't know how they know that. I don't know why, but apparently it's very, very clear that this will be the starting 11. In goal, Jan Oblak, a back four of Marcos Llorente, Jose Jimenez, Clement Lenglet. I mean, he's somehow starting out for Atletico based on some of the injuries. Again, there is no fear clause in his loan deal, so he can in fact play against Barcelona. Not too worried about that, if I'm being honest, with Javi Galan at left back, with Barrios and De Paul in the middle, with Conor Gallagher off the left, and Giuliano Simeone off the right. Of course, the son of the manager Diego Simeone, in a front two of Julian Alvarez and Antoine Griezmann. Again, a line that I wouldn't say strikes fear into me, but a very well-constructed team, a very balanced team as well, that does have a few holes in it. I look at Barrios, inexperienced, Giuliano Simeone just coming into the team recently, good player, but in a big game you never know. Lenglet, we all know he's twinkle toes, he can have a blunder at any given moment. The front two always going to be dropping in, no real killer up front, but definitely quality up front. So we'll see if this will be the starting 11. I think I would be surprised if this is the exact same team, but again, I have to say the Madrid media is so confident that this will be the 11 to face Barcelona. So overall, final thoughts on Atletico Madrid. Probably in the world of football right now, they're the most in-form team. They're managed, of course, by Diego Simeone, who has never beaten Barcelona in his 12 years managing Atletico Madrid at home. He's gotten some draws, but he's lost. We tend to do very well against Atletico Madrid at home whenever we play them, whether it's in the Copa del Rey, Champions League, or La Liga, in their home stadiums, where they kind of get some results against us in the Champions League when they knocked us out, of course, in the 16-17 season. But at home, we tend to do very, very well against Simeone's side, and We'll see at the Montjuic. We, of course, nicked it last year 1-0. The Depay free kick where Naki Pena pull off a worldly of the save, salvage just the 3 points. But again, Simeone's record against Barcelona is piss poor, especially when it's not at his home stadium. Now, in terms of players to look out for, of course, there's a multitude of them. Jan Oblak, who's a fantastic goalkeeper, has been quite on a shite form as of late. I watch him, of course, at the front two, Julian Alvarez and Antoine Griezmann. The Pole, I think he's an absolutely fantastic player. Gallagher has done very well for Atletico Madrid this season. I would also maybe watch out for Javi Galan, a player that Barcelona have been linked with a lot during his time at Real Sociedad. And where was he before that? I think Huesca, if I'm not mistaken. He's a very good fullback. He can whip in a dangerous ball. His crossing is probably better than all of our fullbacks combined. Of course, Marcus Llorente as well, very experienced player. They have a whole entire team of world-class players at the highest level that, of course, can penetrate us. And it's down to really us now to nullify that. But again, with their record against Barcelona, they're going to be coming to this game with a big bone on their back. Against Real Madrid, they tend to do very well. It's a Madrid derby. It's a big game. The fans love it as well. But this is just a big game on paper. There's no real derby. There's no real rivalry into it, apart from two really good teams clashing at it. But a lot of these players tend to, been at Atletico Madrid for quite some time now. They still haven't, beat Barcelona on a consistent basis. So hopefully that will be, a big barrier in their heads. Now, in regards to injury updates ahead of this match, we're still waiting for the official green light for both Andreas Christensen and Ansu Fati. They have been training now for quite some time. They're part of the full training session on Wednesday, on Thursday, and today as well. And of course, they have been doing part of the training during last week. So we are expecting them to get the green light. They're not going to play. They're not going to start, but at least get them getting the green light. That way we know they're available for Barbastro come January would be huge. But either way, they're going to be coming back for this game or the next game. I don't think they're going to be rushed whatsoever. Maybe Flick wants to keep it simple, doesn't want to rush them back in the squad. They won't play in this game whatsoever unless we're absolutely cruising like 4 or 5-0, which I don't think we will be. But again, their returns are on the verge of completion. Now, unfortunately, I will not be covering the press conference of Hansi Flick in this video because I will not be available this morning to jump in and make a recording because I have some commitments beforehand. But I do want to touch upon some of the news that's coming out around Barcelona. And I'm a bit worried about this, and this is about what the team is doing this past week. So, of course, we've lost to Leganés, I believe it was on Saturday. We're expecting maybe a bounce back, but there hasn't really been too much of a bounce back. We're seeing reports that the team went go-karting on Wednesday as part of a Cupra deal. Kansas have reported that Cupra was hosting some sort of event, and the team ended up going go-karting afterwards. We also, of course, knew for a fact the team trained very late this week as well. Flick gave them Monday and Tuesday off. He apparently saw the team very depressed after the loss, so instead of them getting back to work and training, he gave them 2 days off, even though we have a Christmas break coming up in about 3 days' time. Again, a bit weird. And also, last night on Thursday, the team had their Christmas party. So, getting the team all together. This could be a good bonding experience. I don't mind that, of course. But I'm seeing a lot of, relaxation ahead of a big game like this. We're barely training. We're going go-karting. We're having Christmas parties. We have probably the third biggest game of the season this Saturday in terms of La Liga and everything. And we're out here partying and go-karting. So maybe I'm reading into it a bit too much, but again, something that hopefully can be rectified by a good result. I'm not saying the team are lazy. I'm not saying the team are not taking this game seriously, but what I'm seeing right now is playing, relaxing, having dinner, and not concentrating on this game. That's what I'm seeing. I'm not saying they're not concentrating, but a lack of effort, so to speak. So if we lose this game, I'm going to be bringing up all these points that I mentioned from before. Hopefully this means absolutely nothing, but something to look out for ahead of this match for sure. Let's now get into the lineup prediction. We're going to start with the manager, of course, Hansi Flick. I'm going to try my best to predict this lineup. I think it will be very, very, very easy to predict, barring, I would say, maximum one change. And I believe that Hansi Flick will select this lineup on the screen right now. He'll go with Naki Pena in goal, a back four of Kounde, Cubarsí, Inigo Martinez, and Alejandro Balde. Midfield three of Pedri, Casado, and Dani Olmo. And a front three of Ferran Torres, Lewandowski, and Raphinha. The big news in the media is that Flick has one decision that he wants to make for this lineup and that he's umming and ahhing about, and that is whether to start Ferran Torres or Fermin Lopez. Now, I will say this. I will doubt Flick for the first time since his arrival if he starts Fermin Lopez. You've tried these midfielders out wide the whole entire time. Lamine Yamal was injured. Of course, during that time, none of our natural forwards were available. They were all also injured, so you can kind of understand that. With that being said, you have Ferran Torres fit. He starts. I know Ferran Torres was saying in the media, I see myself more as a striker now. I don't give a damn. You're a winger in this game. You cannot put Fermin Lopez out wide. I don't think Hansi Flick will. I hope he doesn't, but there could be a chance, and I would be very worried if he does put Fermin Lopez out wide. Whether he puts Fermin Lopez in the middle and Dani Olmo out wide, I don't really care. I don't want to see any midfielder out on the wing for this game. You have to keep it balanced. Whether you want to play Ferran Torres on the right or on the left and put Raphinha on the other side as well remains to be seen. That's maybe a bit of a gamble. I think he will stick with Raphinha on the left because he's been on the left for so long. But maybe you want to switch it over to Ferran. Maybe that way Balde can have more freedom. I don't know what he will do, but I think this will be his 11. I think the only question will be where he puts Ferran and Raphinha via which wing. I hope he doesn't start. I pray to God he does not start Fermin Lopez. Unless he's starting him in the 10 instead of Dani Olmo. I don't want to see Fermin Lopez out on the wing. But I believe the Hansi Flick will select this lineup on the screen. Now we are also hearing reports that we are expecting Araujo to make his first appearance since his injury for this game. Again, barring how the game goes, the reports are saying that if we're cruising, he'll come on. If the game is tight and maybe we're trying to hold on to a lead, he'll come on. If the game is very intense and very end-to-end, he won't. So, we of course didn't see him against Dortmund. We didn't see him against Leganés. Probably won't see him in this game either unless we're absolutely cooking. So, I do hope we see Araujo in this game. But again, this is the line I think that Hansi Flick will select for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think Hansi Flick will go with. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup, what I would do if I was a Barcelona coach. And I have made one change from Flick's lineup. I have put my balls on the table, and I have started Fermin Lopez ahead of Dani Olmo. Do you know why? Because like I've mentioned a lot over the past few months, Fermin Lopez thrives in games where it's going to be open. Yes, Atletico Madrid set up in a 4-4-2. It's going to be more so of a low block, but in a big game, Atletico Madrid will not take it easy. They will be much more open. I think Fermin Lopez can definitely exploit a lot of that space in behind. And of course, Dani Olmo is on absolutely disgusting form. So I would start Fermin Lopez in this game, but start him in the 10. Of course, I would have Ferran Torres out on the right-hand side. I'm starting to think now that I know that Ferran Torres is more natural on the right. Maybe putting on the left would be a bit easier because that way he can provide some of that coverage on the left-hand side for a Balde that we doesn't have that whole flank on his own. But again, that could be a decision where I think it will become more of a managerial perspective. I think from a fan perspective, you can't really predict that. But I would go with Fermin Lopez in the 10 for this game ahead of Dani Olmo. And this is the line that I would select for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know if you're to pick my lineup or Flick's lineup. Time now for my score prediction. What do I believe the result will be in this match? I have narrowly gave it to Barcelona. I'm thinking we're going to win this game 1-0. Again, these games against Atletico Madrid are always very tight, and it's always very, very low scoring. The one time we actually scored a lot of goals was last season, and the last time we faced them when we beat them 3-0. I think this game will be very, very tight. I think it will be a game of fine margins, but I think in the end, being at home, needing this win, final game of the year, on my bloody birthday as well, I think Barcelona will get it over the line. I do think a draw is the most probable outcome in this game. I also probably would say that Atletico Madrid have a better chance of winning this game because they're on better form than us. We're on absolutely disgusting form. They're on fantastic form. But with us being home, expecting hopefully a good atmosphere, the team wanting to really bounce back, and also the team tending to perform very, very well in big games. We have not lost a big game this season. That is a clear and utter fact, and hopefully this will not be the first time. For that, I'm backing the Blaugrana. I'm backing the boys. I've gone Barcelona to win this game by 1-0, but of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think the scoreline will be. So that was a match preview for Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid in La Liga. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, in the comments down below as well, let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss. The main thing I want to know firstly, of course, is your score prediction. But secondly, on those lineups, firstly, would you rather pick my lineup or Flick's lineup? What do you think Flick will go with? What would you go through the manager? Leave me all your thoughts down below. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the live watch along. Set the reminder on the screen and come and join me, watch the game with me, follow for the match by my match reviews. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Big game ahead. Nothing more I want for my birthday than 3 fat points tomorrow, and let's hope the team can deliver. They are undefeated on my birthday in terms of competitive matches in my lifetime, so hopefully it does continue. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, and Forza Barca. Yeah.